Hi, this is Amy McDougal with your Diabetes Empowerment class. This Diabetes Empowerment class is sponsored by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Rexburg, Idaho. Today we're going to answer a couple of questions about that diabetics might have about how to take care of their disease a little better. First, let's start our Diabetes Empowerment class with our new research section. So this was an interesting study. It was done on 19 subjects, where these subjects had to have diabetes or high blood pressure or bad cholesterol. And these patients were asked to eat anything they wanted in a 10-hour period during the day. The rest of the time during the day, they were supposed to fast. That fast would need to be started by 6 to 8 p.m. at night. So what they would do is they would start at like 8 in the morning and eat whatever they needed until 6 at night or 9 to 7, something like that, a 10-hour period during the day. What they found after 2 months was that they had lost weight, they had better cholesterol, their bad cholesterol had gone down, and they also had better blood sugar. So I'm going to show you those results here. 1 second. So what they saw was a 3% decrease in weight, an 11% decrease in LDL or bad cholesterol, and a 5% decrease in blood glucose. That was just by changing their eating to a 10-hour eating window. So it was eliminating probably that late night snacking, and that probably made a huge difference. For our first question and answer section today, we're going to talk about blood sugar and when to do your blood sugar and how you might know what might be going on. So one problem that I've noticed with a lot of new diabetics is that their doctor will tell them to check their blood sugar once a day in the morning. And so every morning they're really faithful about checking their blood sugar, but that doesn't tell them what's happening the rest of the day. So I want you to look at a little graph I have here. So on this graph, this is blood sugar and this is time down here. So what we're seeing is that the blood sugar is starting in the morning. It's probably going up for after breakfast, and then going down before lunch, and then going up after lunch, and then going down, and then going up again after dinner. So if you take your blood sugar first thing once in the morning, you're not finding out how big these peaks right here are in your blood sugar. And I want you to remember that the damage that occurs in diabetes occurs at these high blood sugar levels. This is when we see that high blood sugar react with the proteins. This is when we see it reacting with the nerves in the eye. This is when we see it doing the damage that can kill your eyes and your kidneys and your nerves. So this is what we want to really know, is what is happening right here. It's good to know this level just because you know how high you are when you're fasting, but we also need to know what this level is after you've eaten. So the way that we do this is we test 1 to 2 hours after eating to see where this is. 1 to 2 hours after eating, your blood sugar should be less than 160. If your blood sugar is higher than 160 within 2 hours after eating, that means it can mean a couple of things. First of all, it can mean that maybe your blood sugar was high before you started to eat, but it can also mean that you've eaten too many carbs, or it can also mean maybe you're just not getting adequate medication to decrease that insulin. So it's really important to not just test right here at this fasting point, but to test sometimes 1 hour after breakfast, test 1 hour after lunch, test right before you eat lunch or right before you eat dinner. See if these levels down here before eating lunch and dinner are maybe back down where they need to be, about 100 or 80, 80 to 100 before eating again, because we need to make sure that you're getting that blood sugar back down between meals also. And then we just want to know that we're not getting these high peaks. If you're seeing high blood sugar levels at these other times of the day, high levels here, then that's definitely something we need to work on by decreasing the amount of carbs we're eating at the meals, or increasing medication. All right, so that was our first question. The next question that I wanted to address is I get a lot of questions about middle of the night wakenings. This happens a lot with diabetes, and let me explain why. If you get a low blood sugar attack in the middle of the night, then your body will wake up, and it will trigger a release of the stress hormone called cortisol that will push out some blood sugar from your liver, but at the same time it can kind of wake you up. So if you're going a little bit low at night, it can cause a little bit of awakening in the middle of the night. So if you seem to be waking a lot in the middle of the night and then not being able to go back to sleep, one of the tricks that you can try is just a protein snack at bedtime. That's protein only, no carbs at all. That would be like a piece of cheese or maybe a little chicken. You can eat, probably the best nut to eat would be almonds. It's very high in protein. Does have some carbs, but not as many carbs as some of the other nuts. So those are a couple of things you could try, is just eating that protein snack at bedtime. See if that helps. Another thing that's very helpful is about 2,000 milligrams of taurine. Taurine is an amino acid. That's just an over-the-counter thing that you can buy, and that may help you sleep a little better through the night. So those are some tricks if you are waking in the middle of the night. So I'm really glad that you enjoyed our diabetes empowerment class today. And I remember meditation and breathing are super important in your diabetes care. I love doing a meditation or a breathing exercise at the end of our diabetes class. Online, I haven't been doing that, but I hope that you'll take the next few minutes and do some breathing exercises. One of my favorite ones to look up is by Amy Weintraub, and it's called The Smiling Breath. So that's one that you can look up on YouTube. And thanks a lot for joining us today.